The book of Genesis, chapter 17. So when Abram was 99 years old, God showed up and said to him, I'm the Almighty God. Yo, live your life just right in front of me and be real, like sincere and all. And I'll totally establish a super solid agreement between us, like you and me. And I'll make your descendants grow like crazy. Seriously. And Abram was like, whoa. And he totally fell on his face. Then God was like, sup, bro? And started chatting with him, saying, as for me, listen up. I've got a deal with you. You'll become a dad to a whole bunch of nations, like seriously, a whole multitude of nations. Dude, from now on, you won't be called Abram anymore. Your new name is Abraham, because I've made you the father of many nations. Abraham means father of a great multitude, just so you know. I'll make you super successful and you'll give birth to whole nations. Future rulers will actually come from you. And like, I'm going to make this super legit deal with you and your future peeps that will last forever. You'll have me as your ultimate homie, and your descendants will too. And I'll hook you up and your descendants too with the land where you're currently living, just chilling, all of Canaan as an ownership that lasts forever. Oh, and by the way, I'll be their God, no cap. We're in Hebrew for the place where you're temporarily staying. And God was like, Abraham, dude, you got to stick with my covenant. Like you and your future fam got to keep it going for generations to come. Yo, listen up, fam. This is the deal. I'm making a covenant with you and your descendants. Every male in your crew got to get circumcised, no exceptions. So like you got to cut off the excess skin from your ellipses, private area. And that's going to symbolize a special agreement between me and you. Got it? On the eighth day, all male children among you, whether they're born in your house or bought from a non-relative, must be circumcised. This applies to every generation. The term son of 8 days is used in Hebrew to refer to an infant who is 8 days old. If someone is born into your family, or if you bought them, they got to get circumcised. And my covenant will always be in your bodies as an everlasting covenant. If a guy is not circumcised, he's not a part of the crew. He's straight up breaking our agreement. So he's got to peace out from the clique. God told Abraham, yo, listen up. Sarai ain't going to be her name no more. From now on, she's going to be called Sarah. You feel me? And just so you know, Sarah means princess. That's what's up. And I'm going to hook Sarah up real good. She's going to have a son. You feel me? Not only that, but I'm going to bless her and she's going to birth nations. Like legit. Kings are going to come from her. Man, it's going to be epic. Abraham straight up face planted and cracked up. He was like, for real though, can a super old dude like me even have a kid? And Sarah at 90 years old, going to give birth? That's wild. And Abraham was like, yo, God, I'm hoping that Ishmael gets to live in your presence. And God was like, yo, Abraham, your wifey Sarah is going to have a legit son for real. And you got to name him Isaac. Oh, and I'm going to make a super tight covenant with him. Like forever and ever, with all his future fam, it's going to be lit. Yo, about Ishmael, I got you covered. Check it out. I blessed him big time, and he's going to have mad descendants, like a ton of them. He'll even be the father of 12 rulers, and I'm going to make his nation strong. I'm not saying that word. But here's the deal. I'm going to make my special promise with Isaac, the son that Sarah's going to have for you around this time next year. And then they finished their convo, and God bounced from Abraham's crib. So Abraham gathered up Ishmael, his son, along with all his household members and those he had acquired with his money. They were all males who belonged to Abraham's household. And on that very day, they all underwent circumcision, just as God had instructed him to do. Abraham was like super old, man, like 99 years old when he got circumcised. Yeah, his foreskin was beast mode removed and all that. Ishmael was just a cool 13-year-old when he got circumcised and went through that snip procedure. On that very day, Abraham got circumcised along with the son Ishmael. And all the dudes in his crib born there or bought from overseas got circumcised together. Genesis 18. So like the Lord showed up to him in this chill place called Mamre. And this dude was just chilling in his tent entrance, feeling that scorching heat of the day, By the way, Mamre means plains in Hebrew. And so just so you're in the know. And he looked up and saw 3 dudes hanging out. So he hurried over to meet them from the entrance of his tent and respectfully bowed down. And I was like, Yo, Lord, if you vibe with me, please don't bounce. I'm begging you, stay with me here. My plea. Yo, could you please grab some water real quick and wash your feet? And then feel free to chill and take a break under the tree. I'll get you some bread to cheer you up and give you strength. Then you can continue on your journey. That's why you came to me, right? And they agreed, saying, yeah, sure, do what you said. So Abraham quickly went into his tent where Sarah was and said, hey, Sarah, can you get ready fast and prepare 3 measures of fine meal? Knead it and make some cakes on the hearth. So Abraham quickly went to his herd and got a young and fresh calf. He gave it to one of his young dudes, and they hurried to prepare it for a meal. Then he brought some butter, milk, and the deliciously prepared calf and placed it in front of them. He stood beside them under the tree while they enjoyed their meal. And they were like, yo, where's Sarah, your wifey? And he was like, check it, she's chilling in the tent. And he was like, bro, I'm definitely coming back to you when the time is right. And guess what? Sarah, your wifey, is going to have a baby boy. And Sarah was eavesdropping from inside the tent, all sneaky like. So like Abraham and Sarah were really old, like ancient, and Sarah couldn't have babies anymore. Like she couldn't have periods. It was like not possible for her to get pregnant. So Sarah couldn't help but laugh to herself and said, seriously, am I supposed to find pleasure in my old age when my husband is just as old? And God was like, Abraham, seriously, why did Sarah laugh and doubt that she could have a baby when she's old? Like, seriously, is anything too difficult for the Lord? I mean, at the right time, I'll totally come back to you, just like when everything's blooming and awesome. And Sarah will totally give birth to a son. No doubt about it. Sarah's like, nah, I didn't laugh. She was scared, But then he goes, nuh-uh, you totally laughed. So the guys got up, checked out what was happening in Sodom, and Abraham tagged along to guide them. So God was like, should I keep this thing I'm about to do secret from Abraham or what? Yo, check it out. Big man upstairs promised Abraham that his crew was going to blow up and become a legit powerhouse, a sick nation. And get this, not only that, but everyone from all around the globe would be blessed because of him. Pretty dope, right? I totally know that Abraham is going to be all about making sure his kids and household follow the Lord's teachings, doing what's right and fair. And because of that, the Lord will totally make sure Abraham gets all awesome blessings he promised him. And God was like, yo, the noise coming from Sodom and Gomorrah is off the charts, and their actions are seriously messed up. I'm going to check it out for myself and see if they're really doing what I've heard. If not, I'll find out the truth. And the dudes were like, peace out, and headed towards Sodom. But Abraham stayed still chilling with the Lord. Abraham came forward and asked, like, yo, are you going to wipe out the good peeps along with the wicked ones? Yo, suppose there's like 50 righteous peeps in that city. Would you even wreck the whole place? Not sparing it for the sake of those 50 righteous homies living there? God, it's not cool at all for you to treat the righteous and the wicked the same. You definitely wouldn't go around smiting righteous people along with the wicked ones, right? The judge of everyone surely knows how to do us fair, don't they? God was like, yo, if I come across 50 chill and righteous people in Sodom, I'll save the whole city just for them. And Abraham was like, yo, listen up. I'm about to talk to the big guy up there, even though I'm just a tiny speck of dirt and dust. Yo, what if there's only 5 righteous peeps missing from the 50? You going to wipe out the whole city just because of 5? And then he's like, no, if I find 45 righteous peeps, I won't destroy it. Then he talked to him again and said, maybe if there are like 40 people there, will you save the place? And he replied, no, fam, even if there were 40, I'm not going to do it for their sake. He's like, yo, chill. Don't get mad, but hear me out. Maybe there's like 30 good people there. And the other dudes like, nah, man, if there are 30, I ain't going to do it. And he was like, yo, I'm going to talk to the big boss, the Lord. Maybe, just maybe, if there's like 20 good people in there, the whole place won't get wrecked. The guy was like, please don't get mad, Lord. I just want to say one more thing. Maybe if there's 10 good people there, you won't destroy the place, right? And God went on his way soon after having finished talking with Abraham. And Abraham went back to where he was. Genesis chapter 19. So like 2 angels showed up in Sodom one evening, and Lot was chilling at the gate. When he saw them, he got up and went to greet them, showing mad respect by bowing down with his face to the ground. He was like, yo, dudes, why don't you come chill at my crib for the night? You can crash, freshen up, and bounce early in the morning. But they were like, nah, man, we're going to stay out in the streets for the night. He really insisted, so they finally agreed and went to his place. He threw them an awesome party, cooking up some delicious unleavened bread that they all enjoyed. But before they went to bed, all the guys from the city, like literally everyone from Sodom, gathered around the house. It was a mix of old and young. And they came from all over the place. So, like, these people were calling out to Lot and asking him, yo, where are those dudes who came to hang out with you tonight? Bring them out so we can get to know them. So Lot came out of the crib and closed the door behind him. Yo, fam, I'm just saying, please don't be doing this wicked stuff. Listen up, fam. I've got 2 daughters who haven't been with anyone. So how about I bring them out to y'all and you can do whatever you think is right. Just don't lay a finger on these guys because they're under my protection. Yo. And that's wicked as it is itself. That's wrong, Lot. Don't care how you try to fix it. Lot was wrong. And they were like, yo, step aside. And they were like, this dude just showed up in town and now he wants to be all judgy. We're going to treat you even worse than those other peeps. And they started pressuring Lot, getting all up in his face, almost breaking down the door. I didn't read that word. The guys grabbed Lot and brought him inside, then quickly closed the door. And they totally blinded the guys at the entrance of the house, like everyone young and old. It was so crazy that they were like super tired from trying to find the door. The guys were like, hey, Lot, do you have anyone else in there, like your son-in-law, sons, daughter, or whatever else you have in the city? Get them out of here, man. We're going to wreck this place because their cries have gotten way too loud in front of the Lord, and he has sent us to demolish it. Then Lot went to talk to his sons-in-laws who were married to his daughters, and he said, hey, you guys need to leave this city ASAP. The Lord's going to wreck this place. But his sons-in-laws thought he was just playing around, didn't take him seriously. And when morning came, the angels quickly told Lot, wake up, dude. Grab your wife and your 2 daughters who were here before you get caught up in this city's messed up ways and face the consequences. Are here, found them seriously, iniquity or punishment. And as he hesitated, the guys grabbed his hand along with the hands of his wife and 2 daughters. Because the Lord was being merciful to him, they let him out and placed him outside the city. Suddenly, when they finally got outside, he said, dude, you need to bounce and save your own skin. Don't even glance backwards. And don't waste any time in this whole area. Head for the mountains ASAP. Otherwise, you'll be totally wrecked. And Lot was like, hold up, fam. Nah, my Lord. You'll listen up. Your servant here. I got to say, you've been super kind to me. Your mercy has been off the charts, especially when you saved my life. But here's the thing. Running to the mountains ain't going to cut it. I'm afraid some bad stuff might go down and I won't make it out alive. Yo, check this out. This town is close to bounce to. Not reading that word. It's not even big. Yo, let me dip there. It's low-key small, right? And if I do, I'll be living my best life. And he was like, yo, I'm totally down with that, what you're saying. I won't wreck this city you're talking about. Your vibes are accepted, my dude. Quick, get out of here ASAP. I can't do anything until you reach that place. That's why the city was named Zoar, which means little. When Lot entered Zoar, the sun had already come up, gone forth, Hebrew for risen. Then God straight up dropped fire and brimstone from the sky onto Sodom and Gomorrah, like it was intense. And like he totally wiped out those cities along with all the surrounding area and everyone living there, including all the crops and stuff. But his wife like totally turned around and peeked back. And she was like instantly turned into a giant salt statue. And Abraham got up early in the morning and went to the same spot where he had stood before the Lord. He checked out Sodom and Gomorrah along with all the other cities in the area and saw that they were in ruins. Smoke rose from the land, billowing like smoke from a great furnace. So like when God was wrecking those cities in the plain, he remembered Abraham and made sure Lot got out of there before the whole place went down. Lot was living in one of those cities, you know. So Lot bounced out of Zoar and moved to the mountains with his 2 daughters. He was too freaked out to stay in Zoar, so they bunked in the cave together. The older sibling said to the younger one, listen, our dad is getting up there in age, and there's literally no one else in the entire world for us to find a future partner like everyone else does. Yo, let's get dad drunk and sleep with him so we can keep his bloodline going. And like they totally got their dad to drink wine that night. And then the oldest sibling went in and slept with their dad. And like he didn't even realize when she lay down and when she got up. The next day, the eldest sibling said to the younger one, listen up, bro. Last night, I slept with our dad. Let's get him drunk again tonight, and you can do the same thing. That way, we can keep our family bloodline going. That night, they got their dad to have some wine, too. The youngest one got up and slept with him, and he didn't even realize when she got in or got out of the bed. Translation, both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their own father. The oldest child had a son and named him Moab, who ended up being the ancestor of the Moabites, even until now. And the younger sister also had a baby and named him Ben-Ami. He later became the ancestor of the Ammonite people to this very day. Genesis chapter 20. So Abraham pieced out from there and headed to the southern region, chilling between Kadesh and Shur, and crashed in Gerar for a bit. So Abraham was like, Sarah's my sister, bro. And then Abimelech, the king of Gerar, was like, no way, dude. So he sent for Sarah and took her into his crib. One night, God appeared to Abimelech in a dream and gave him a serious warning. He said, hey, just so you know, you're in big trouble because the woman you took is actually married to someone else. You're as good as dead. Abimelech didn't do anything with her. And he was like, yo, Lord, you going to destroy an innocent crew too? Didn't he tell me that she's my sis? And even she herself said that he's my bro. I swear deep down in my heart, I didn't mean any harm. I did it with pure intentions and clean hands. So like God comes to him in a dream and is all, yeah, I totally know that you did this with pure intentions in your heart. And like I made sure you didn't sin against me by stopping you from getting close to her. So like give the guy back his wife, bro. Like he's like a prophet and he'll pray for you and you'll live. But if you don't give her back, just know that you totally died. And everyone you know too, man. So Abimelech got up really early, gathered all his homies, and spilled the tea to them. And the squad was shook to their core. So Abimelech hit up Abraham and was like, yo, what did you do to us? Did I do something to offend you or what? You brought a major vibe of sin upon me in my kingdom. The stuff you did, man, it was not cool at all. Abimelech straight up asked Abraham, like, what did you see that made you do this? Abraham was like, yo, I had this thought, you know. I was thinking for real, though. I don't think these people here even know what it means to respect God. So I was legit scared that they might straight up kill me just to take my wifey. To be honest, she's technically my sister. Like, same dad, but different mom, you know. And then we ended up getting hitched. Same dad, different mom. So like when God made me leave my dad's place and stuff, I told her, this is how you got to have my back. Whenever we're in a new place, just say that I'm your bro, all right? So like Abimelech was all generous and gave Abraham a bunch of sheep, oxen, male servants, female servants. And get this, he even returned Abraham's wife, Sarah, to him. And Abimelech was like, hey, bro, check it out. My turf is all yours. Settle wherever you vibe the most, you know. No pressure. Do what feels right, man. So Sarah, listen up. I hooked your brother up with 1,000 silver coins. He's like your backup and protection, shielding you from everyone else around you. This was a lesson for her to learn from. So Abraham hit up God with a prayer, and God came through in a major way, healing Abimelech, his wife, and even his crew. And guess what? They all started popping out kids like no tomorrow. So like God made it so none of the ladies in Abimelech's family could get pregnant, all because my boy Abraham's wife, Sarah, was part of the picture. So Abimelech already had a wife and he's trying to marry another one. Hot mess. Genesis 21. Then God took care of Sarah just like he promised and did exactly what he said he would do. So like Sarah got pregnant and gave birth to a son for Abraham when he was super old, just as God had said it would happen. Abraham gave his son, who was finally born to him by Sarah, the name Isaac. So like Abraham did what God told him to do and circumcise his son Isaac when he was just 8 days old. Abraham was like a whole 100 years old when his son Isaac finally made an appearance in his life. And Sarah was like, OMG, God made me laugh so hard that anyone who hears it will laugh with me. And she was like, who would ever thought that Sarah at her old age would be breastfeeding a baby? But she did. She gave birth to a son for Abraham. And the baby grew up and was no longer nursing. So Abraham threw a massive party on the very day Isaac stopped nursing. And Sarah peeped the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, who she birthed for Abraham, throwing shade. And she was like, Abraham, you got to kick out this bondwoman and her son. Like, they can't be heirs with my son Isaac. And Abraham was really upset about it because of his son. Like, it was a big deal. And God was like, Abraham, don't stress over this situation with your son and his mama. Listen up to everything Sarah's telling you, because Isaac is the one who's going to carry on your legacy. And I'll also make a whole nation out of the son of the servant woman because he's part of your family. Abraham woke up early in the morning and grabbed some bread and a bottle of water, not reading that word, and gave it to Hagar. And she put it on her shoulder along with the child. Then he sent her away and she dipped wandering in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water ran out in the bottle. So she put the baby under one of the bushes. So she went and sat down nearby, keeping a distance like a length of an arrow shot, because she didn't want to witness the child's passing. She positioned herself across from him, raised her voice, and began to cry. And God totally heard the boy's voice. And the angel of God hit up Hagar from the skies and was like, "What's going on, Hagar? Don't trip." God heard the boy's voice wherever he's at. "Yo, get up, grab the kid, and keep him close, because I'm going to make him the leader of a dope nation." God like totally helped her see, and she spotted a dope well with water. She filled up the bottle with water and hooked the kid up with a refreshing drink. And God was chilling with the dude, and he grew up and lived in the wild and became a total beast at archery. So like he lived in this place called the wilderness of Paran, right? Then his mom, she got a wife for him. She got him a wife from Egypt. Totally cool, right? So like at that time, Abimelech and Phicol, the head honcho of his peeps, they came up to Abraham and were like, "Yo, dude, God is totally chilling with you in everything you do. So like, promise me right now, with God as witness, that you won't be shady with me and my fam. Keep it real and show me the same love and kindness I've shown you in return. And be cool with the place you've been crashing to, all right? Don't front on me, fam." And Abraham was like, "Yo, I'm going to make a solemn promise, no cap." Abraham called out Abimelech for snatching the precious water source that his crew forcefully confiscated. Abimelech brother was like, "I have no idea who did this. You never told me. I didn't even hear about it until today." So Abraham like rounded up some sheep and oxen and gave them to Abimelech, and they both made a pack and stuff. And Abraham put these 7 cute baby sheep in a separate group from the rest of the flock. Abimelech was like, "Yo, Abraham, what's up with those 7 lambs over there? What's the deal with them?" So he's like, "Yo, take these 7 cute little lamb babies from me as proof that I'm the one who dug this well." So he named that place Beersheba because that's where they made a serious promise to each other. Beersheba means the well of the oath. So they formed a pact at Beersheba. Then Abimelech and Phicol, the top boss of his army, went back to the land of the Philistines. So Abraham decided to plant a grove in Beersheba, and he named it after the Lord, the everlasting God. By grove, I mean tree, just so you know. And Abraham like stayed in the land of the Philistines for a pretty long time. Genesis 22. So after all that happened, God decided to test Abraham. He called out to him and he said, "Abraham." And Abraham replied, "Yo, what's up? I'm here." And God said, "Yo, listen up. Take your son Isaac, the one you're tight with, and head to Moriah. I want you to offer him as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I'll reveal to you later on." So like Abraham woke up super early, got his ride ready, took 2 of his homies, his son Isaac, chopped up some wood for the offering. Then they all headed to the spot that God had told him about. Then on the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. Abraham told the squad, "Yo, hold up with the ride. Me and the homie are going to head over there and do our worship thing, but we'll come back with y'all." So Abraham grabbed the wood for the burnt offering and put it on Isaac, his son. He also took the fire and a knife in his hand, and they both headed out together. Isaac talked to his dad, Abraham, and said, "Hey, Dad." And Abraham replied, "Yes, my son." Isaac then asked, "I see the fire and the wood, but where's the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham was like, "Hey, son, God's got this covered. He's going to hook us up with a lamb for our sacrifice." And just like that, they headed out together on their mission. So as they arrived at the spot that God had directed them to, Abraham set up a sacred space, built an altar, neatly arranged the wood, and carefully tied up his son Isaac. He then placed Isaac on the altar on top of the wood. So Abraham reached out his hand and grabbed the knife, ready to end his son's life. Isn't that crazy? Then this angel from the Lord hit up Abraham and was like, "Yo, Abraham, Abraham." And Abraham was like, "Yeah, what's good? Here I am." And God was like, "Yo, don't touch the kid. Like, seriously, don't do anything to him. It's all good, fam. I can see that you're all about respecting me because you didn't hold back from giving up your one and only son." So Abraham looked up and saw a ram with its horns caught in a thicket behind it. He went over, took the ram, and offered it as a burnt offering instead of the son. And Abraham named that place Jehovah Jireh, which basically means the Lord will see or provide. As people still say nowadays, he'll show up when we need him on this mountain. Then the angel of the Lord hit up Abraham again, straight from the heavens. And God said, "I swear on my own name, for you have done this incredible thing without holding back your son, your one and only. I'm going to hook you up with some major blessings, like for real. Your descendants are going to blow up big time, like the stars in the sky on the sand of the beach. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and they're going to totally crush their enemies and take over everything, no doubt. And through your descendants, all the nations of the earth will receive blessings because you listen and follow what I said. So Abraham went back to his squad, and they got up and rolled together to Beersheba. And Abraham settled down in Beersheba. After all these events went down, Abraham got word that Milcah, she ended up having some kids for his brother Nahor. Huz, the oldest brother, and Buz, his fam, and Kemuel, Aram's founder. And Kesed, Hazel, Pildash, Jidlah, and Bethuel were all part of the crew. And Bethuel had a daughter named Rebekah, who Nahor, Abraham's bro, had 8 kids with. Micah. Rebekah is also called Rebekah in Greek. And this dude had a side chick named Remuah, and she gave birth to Tebah, Kashan, Thachah, and Makkah. Remuah. All right, then. Genesis 23. Sarah was 127 years old when she passed away. That's how long she lived. So, Sarah passed away in this place called Kirjath Arba, which is the same as Hebron in Canaan. And Abraham, went there to grieve and cry for Sarah, So, Abraham got up from where his peeps were chilling with the deceased, and he started talking to the sons of Heth, yo, I'm like a total outsider chilling with you all here. Can you hook me up with a spot to bury my dead homie so I don't have to see them anymore? So, Abraham, the kids of Heth responded to him listen up, dude. You're like a powerful leader in our crew. You can totally pick any of our graves to bury your dead people. We've got your back, and we won't stop you from using any of them. Just do what you got to do. By the way, a prince of God is another way to say that you're a total boss. So Abraham got up and respectfully greeted the people of the land, even the children of Heth. So this guy was talking with his peeps saying, if you're cool with it, I want to bury my dead away from my view. Can you lend a hand and ask Hephron, Zohar's son, for me? I'm hoping Abraham will let me have the cave of Machpelah at the edge of this field. I'll pay him whatever it's worth so I can use it as a burial place here. You guys cool with that? So Ephron was living among the children of Heth, and he spoke up in front of everyone at the gate of his city, answering Abraham. It was like a public spectacle, Actually, listen up, sir. I want to give you the whole field and the cave that's in it. I'm giving it to you in front of everyone. You can bury your dead there. So Abraham showed respect to the people of the land by humbling himself. So he talked to Hephron in front of everyone hey, man, if you're down for it, listen up. I really need to buy that field from you. I pay you a fair price for it. No worries. Just take the money from me, and I can finally give my deceased a proper burial. Ephron was like, yo, Abraham, listen up. Listen up, my dude. The land is valued at a cool 400 shekels of silver. But honestly, what's that small amount going to matter between me and you? So let's just bury your dead, fam, and move on. So Abraham listened to Ephron and paid him the silver he had promised, which he mentioned in front of the sons of Heth, a total of 400 shekels of silver, the currency used for the merchants and the land that belonged to Ephron, which was in Machpelah in front of Mamre, along with the field, the cave, and all the trees that were in the area were legally confirmed. Abraham was given this prime spot as his own in front of everyone who came through the city gate while the children of Heth were there. Then Abraham laid Sarah, his wife, to rest in the cave of the field of Machpelah, right by Mamre. This place is known as Hebron in the land of Canaan. So basically the field and the cave in it, they were totally secured for Abraham to use as a burial place by the sons of Heth. Please put these words in the comment section. This is the word of the Lord. Follow, like, and subscribe. Hit that arrow at the bottom of the screen and share this video. Shall we pray? Gracious Father, from these passages of scripture that we read, we see the faith of Abraham, willing and yielding himself to give up all to the will of God. Many of us are not there yet, especially this extreme story about his willingness to offer up his son Isaac. But this extreme story demonstrates to us your extreme love towards us. Just like the song says, great is thy mercy, I see day after day. Great is your mercy towards me. Thank you for your mercy and the fact that you were willing, just like Abraham was willing to offer up his son Isaac. You were willing, and you did offer up your only son on the behalf of us, on behalf of our salvation, redemption, and deliverance. And we're grateful and thankful for that total sacrifice. You gave us everything. Help us to yield everything in us to you, to willingly offer up ourselves as a living sacrifice. Help us to do that. And we'll give you praise in Jesus' mighty name. And all the people of God said, thank God. Amen. And put in the comment section, this is the word of the Lord.